Good evening, friends and lovers. You're watching the Feck TV Music Show. I'm joined in the studio here today by the New Valley Wolves. That's Johnny Lucy, frontman, and Baz Joyce, drums.
How's the man?
I'm grand. How are you, lads?
Can't complain.
Very good.
Yeah, well, look, it's a bit of an honour for us to have you in the studio today.
It's great to be here.
Because in my opinion, there's been literally no good rock and roll out in the last couple of years, you know. It seems to me that everything seems to have this kind of synthetic driven, which is fine, you know, I like some of that too, but what's missing from the scene is just good old hearty rock and roll. Would you agree?
Yeah, I suppose we're pretty basic.
Definitely.
rock and roll,
No,
just drums and guitar.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. A lot of synths. There's a lot of kind of pre-constructed music going
Drum
on.
machines and
Yeah.
just simple kind of, really simple kind of almost basic kind of 80s style
It's
synthetic
missing
pop
out on
music.
the human element. You can't beat putting your own motions and your own, feelings into the instrument you're playing rather than just pressing a button and have it make noise for you.
Yeah, well, that's it. And it seems like rather than all these kind of rock samples, basically the only rock guitar and stuff you hear is using the likes of fucking, you know, Kanye West and things like that in sample form. But anyway, skipping on to why we're here. Basically, a friend of mine, Sean Ryan, introduced me to you guys.
Cool.
Showed me the video for the single Fire in the Blood, which I
Yeah.
have to say is just absolutely catchy as hell. I've been
Cheers,
listening to
man.
it constantly.
Thanks very much.
Honestly, I mean that, you know, it's not just because you're here.
Yeah, cool.
I do actually mean that.
Appreciate it.
For us, usually, we kind of take on more established artists on this show, or rather we will be. But I think that's actually going to work to our advantage because I honestly think you guys are about to blow up, you know.
Cool.
You know, and I mean that. And I think these boys could be the saviours of rock and roll for this country.
You're here
So,
first.
yeah, but that's it, yeah. So, you know, we got an exclusive here, the New Valley Wolves. So I just want to ask you lads, first of all, to both of you, Johnny maybe first, when did you first pick up your instruments and who inspired you to do so?
I'd say I was 13 years old when I started playing guitar, and it was Oasis.
Really?
Oasis, my first big band.
Yeah.
I just loved them. Like Cigarettes and Alcohol, that song exploded my mind when I heard it first. Like, I loved it. The first thing I ever learned to play was the bass line to Champagne Supernova, which is just like boom, boom, but it's so simple.
Yeah.
But the fact that I could play that and it sounded like what was on the radio really just amazed me.
That
And
you were hooked.
just from then I was hooked. Like, I didn't even have a guitar. My own guitar, I used to have to call into my neighbours and borrow their one for like 2 hours a day until I could get my own one.
Somebody buy that kid a guitar.
Yeah.
What about you, Bess?
Started playing the drums actually because of my sister, Christine, my eldest sister. She went to this thing called Rock School, and it was basically like a rock camp, you know.
Ballyfermot,
Yeah,
is it?
no, the one in Sutton,
Oh,
Soft
okay.
Studios. And she went there 'cause she picked up the guitar, and she came back, she's like, you got to learn the drums. And I was about 9, and she bought me a pair of drumsticks.
Yeah.
And I literally was drumming on my school, you know, you remember the old pencil tins you have in school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Banging on that literally till it wouldn't work. And eventually talking my parents into buying me drums. Kind of similar to Johnny, I think I started listening to the Beatles. That was the first band.
That was my big first band, you know.
And then suddenly Oasis were out in the scene, 92, 94. So
Yeah.
it was all about them. And then, yeah, that's kind of how I started the drums.
So listen to your sound now. I mean, who would you like to be compared to?
Well, I can answer that in saying who my influence would be. Like, I love like Queens of the Stone Age.
I heard that, mate. Yeah,
Black
definitely. a bit of Josh
Keys,
Homme.
Definite Wolf 1979, Black Box Revelation. Like, if anyone mentioned us in the same sentence as them, I'd be delighted.
Yeah.
But they'd be who type of bands I'd listen to most. So I would think that would come through because you're always influenced by something, you know.
And tell me, have you played in other bands over the years? I mean, this is obviously not from listening to your sound. This isn't the first time you've.
No,
You've tried that,
Both
you
Baz
know.
and I are old.
Few bands now. Sea Dogs.
Old Sea Dogs knocking around the band scene in Ireland. Yeah, I was in a band in Cork actually down here for a couple of years called King Sear.
King Sear, okay.
Yeah, we played pretty much everywhere in Cork. We did a couple of gigs in Dublin.
Were you the front man of that as well?
Yeah,
or?
I was the singer and guitar.
Okay.
It was a 3-piece. Yeah, I've been loads of bands.
And when did you start writing music?
Um,
Composing your own stuff, I mean.
it's, geez, like I'd say 18, 19. For like it just kind of happened organically. Like started off, first band I was ever in was a band called The Volt. So we were just a covers band in school.
Yeah.
Like just with my mates.
School talent shows.
Absolutely.
Who's in that one?
Yeah.
DC, the guy you'll be meeting later,
Oh,
he was the
okay.
singer. I wasn't the singer back then. I've kind of
Right.
grown into the singer
You
role.
outgrew him?
We fired him. We kicked him out. He walked off. It was very rock and roll. He walked off during a gig and we fired him. But
Fair dues.
we're still friends, so that's the main thing. But no, I started writing music. I'd say around 18, 19.
Graham, well, listen, tell me, you've only been together since June of last year. Not that I'm implying you're a couple, but how did you first meet, and when did you start playing music together?
It was, I suppose, yeah, it's what, a few months now, and I think Johnny was looking he was back up in Dublin, and he was looking to get back in the band again, and he was putting the feelers out he wanted a drummer, and I think my name was thrown in the hat or something. He's just sent me a mail.
I always knew Baz was a drummer, like, kind of just from playing music. He always talked to other people who hear music, and it just always came to me that Baz was a great drummer.
Yeah.
So
I
just
can
he was
second that. Yeah.
the first person I thought of to get onto.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he just got in touch and said, "Look, would you be up for a jam?" And you know, because I've done the 5-piece thing, I've done the 4-piece, I've done 3-piece, never done a 2-piece. So
that was
why
actually going to
not?
be my next question. I mean, in putting a 2-piece band together, I mean, it can be quite a brave thing. You have to have a really, really full sound to carry it, and I think also simplicity in some certain senses as well. But it gives you a lot of freedom to kind of get on with it in a sense.
Absolutely,
you know, what are the benefits?
Benefits are there's no messing around. It's simpler. I think the way I would write songs and come up with riffs and stuff, they would be, if I give them to someone else to jam with, they will change from what I originally wanted them to be. Like they'll get kind of diluted or
I absolutely understand
polluted
that.
by giving them to someone else and kind of saying, okay, what can you play over this?
I've seen it happen 1,000 times. Musicians, they come on, fantastic solo artists, and then as the other instruments, it just kind of loses the original kind of feel or something, or gets overcomplicated. You know,
Yeah,
it's a fine line.
overcomplicated. That's it.
And I think you need an awful lot of restraint as a musician to back someone, you know, like yourself with songwriting talent. You know.
Yeah.
So, first single, "Fire in the Blood." What's it all about?
It's about
Fire and blood.
the song itself is about a couple of different things. Like there could be one line about something and the next line about something else. But I suppose the main kind of feeling behind it is sticking to your guns, so to speak. It's kind of about myself and my relationship with playing music, and that I haven't given it up. That I've still got my blood in the fire, and the fire in my blood. You know, it's about now you're acting, you're feeling older than you should, and it's about kind of people I hang out with, or not to hang out with, people I used to play with and stuff, like kind of letting go and easing up on playing.
That's another thing. I mean, it's certainly in this industry at the moment, you know, the music industry, without gigging, you know, you're not going to make a lot of money off record sales unless you're seriously turning out songs for the kids. You know what I mean? So anyway, the video itself, absolutely fantastic. You want to tell us a little bit about that? Yeah.
Got to give Sean Ryan, as I said, your friend, credit. Crooked Creations.
Facebook,
we recorded the tracks and we said, right, let's do a video instead of doing more recordings, because we were quite happy with them. So got in touch with Sean. He came in. He liked the track and he was happy to do it. So we just went with that. Started a little kind of blog on Facebook, giving ideas and what we could do, and we wanted where to shoot it and what we we're going to do. So just went with that, and then just came to the day, and we done it in 2 kind of shots.
2 nights recording.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the video out there, "Fire in the Blood," New Valley Wolves, absolutely fantastic video, and the production on the track is absolutely incredible as well.
He's done a great job.
That's all down to Sean. Like he really, he knew what he was doing.
We told him what we wanted, but he just went with it then, and he done exactly what we wanted, I think, you know.
So in terms of songwriting, just skipping back to what we were talking about before, just because this actually interests me, because I'm kind of very into the songwriting and writing in general myself. I mean, is it always kind of a feeling? You just try to set a tone with the music, or do you sometimes write songs about yourself? Do you tell a story, you know?
I kind of knew I'd be asked a question like this, so I was kind of formulating what I would say.
Check my notes.
It happens a lot of different ways. Like for me anyway, I suppose it's subjective, everyone's different, but for myself, like sometimes the song can come and it's already done, but like you pick up the guitar and it's right there, and like it's almost like it's someone else's because it's already complete.
It just pours out.
Absolutely. Like that's great when that happens. But other ways, it's kind of like you have to put it together. That I kind of always compare it to how I used to do drawings as a kid, because I used to draw when I was a kid and I decide what it was afterwards. Yeah. So that's kind of how I write songs. I kind of decide what it is afterwards.
Absolutely get the mentality of that. I really do.
Not try to focus on what I want it to be about, just let it come out and then see what it is.
So I think I already know the answer to this question, but so what's more important to you when putting a song together? Is it lyrics or melody?
I would say melody for me. Yeah. Because like obviously for drums, like it's strange because like sometimes I don't think lyrics are that important, because if you have a good structure of a song. You can throw anything down, and as long as it's catchy and it's a bit dancey, you can kind of put whatever. But obviously Johnny would have some certain songs that he wants to get these lyrics out. They're obviously mean a lot to him and stuff, but I would generally start like Johnny would usually come up with a riff, and we'd knock that around for a few times. You say, I actually have lyrics, try this, and or other times you might actually have the whole thing done, Yeah,
so. Well, like, would you find yourselves as well, like, say you've played many bands over the years, that from an early age, kind of lyrics are secondary, and it's all about melody, but as you get older, you realise that there's a serious divide in the audience, well, I certainly do anyway, and that some people will only listen to the words, you meet people who, and that's literally what sells the song to them, the melody isn't actually as important, I think it gets to a point where you really have to kind of walk the line with both
Absolutely.
things,
A bit of balance of both, I suppose.
Absolutely, dead right, yeah.
Now, on your website, among your interests I have here, it lists women, guitars, drums, effects pedals, drinking, parties, explosions, gigs, women, tomfoolery, music videos, fame, money, power, corruption, progression, and alien conspiracies.
What more could you want?
Would you like to expand on alien conspiracies?
Sure.
Who
knows?
Johnny got abducted on the farm when he was
did,
younger.
There's something going
never
on
recovered.
in the skies.
We don't talk about the farm.
No, we don't talk about that.
Let's not go there.
So let's talk about where it's going. What's next for the band?
What's next is, well,
Gigs.
actually, gigs. We actually haven't done a gig yet. This is our first media, I suppose, broadcast. We haven't done radio.
We've plugged you young, fresh. Yeah.
We're doing radio at Nova soon, and
it's a great show, or great
yeah,
format. And it's
local
station.
only. So we got a first gig coming up soon. So
17th of January in the Hard Rock Cafe, Temple Bar.
17th of January, Hard Rock Cafe, Temple Bar.
You've heard it here. Exclusive on Fact TV.
Yeah, absolutely be there. I'm going to be there myself.
Cool.
I guarantee you.
Great. It should be good. So get gigs. We
Throw
want
my
to.
knickers at you from the front row.
They better be clean this time, Danny. The last time.
Listen, you don't always get what you want in this life.
Yeah,
that's true.
And how about the EP? How's that coming along?
Yeah, what we have to do now is we've 2 tracks recorded. We have video for one of them, and we want to go back up. I'll talk about the guy later on who we recorded, but we want to go back up, do 2 more, and maybe a live track. Just do a 5-track EP.
Just do just when you say record live, as in just
to have something
not
different
from
on
a
the
gig,
EP.
but actually from
just even in the studio live, just so you have that live sound, just to mix it up a bit, and maybe one more video, put it out. Hopefully this EP, I have to say, we have moved quite fast, I can't see why we can't get this out in the next month and a half.
I have friends of mine who saying, God, you're moving very fast with it, but I've been in bands for years, so has Baz, and it's like I've finally got a format to kind of put all the lessons I've learned from previous bands into effect. So it's like, why wouldn't we go and do a video? Why wouldn't we record more songs? It's not like we don't have the experience. We've got the experience racked up. It's time to actually set it in motion now. I feel we're doing a good job of it so far.
Absolutely. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be too long before you're on the festival circuit.
Hope so,
once you play away, and honestly, we're at a point where as I think I was speaking to you before the interview earlier on, we're at a point where you don't essentially need the big record company behind you. But as we spoke to someone the other week from a record company, who was saying, you're kind of losing the filter. Because that's what a company does, essentially.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes you stand out, essentially, because you've produced a video and produced a track, and I'm not just talking about how the video looks. I'm talking about how the sound. Where did you record the single?
Slane Studios.
Yeah.
A guy called Mark Reddy. I've been using this guy for probably 5 years plus. I think he's brilliant.
Very good.
We went up and we said to him, Mark's great because he can work around your budgets. Now, being in a 2-piece band, we're funding this ourselves. So it's not like we've 5 members where we can all throw money at it. So we got to get it as tight as possible for the budgets. But told him what we had. He said, right, come up. We'll try and get a couple of songs recorded in a day. And he's great. He kind of mixes and produces as he goes. So it doesn't take another 2 days for him to get it. He'll actually give you it there and then. And he's just a great guy to work with,
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, listen, just to turn it off, I'm gonna play a little game with you both if you're willing to play.
Let's do it.
Now, I had proposed this game be played with alcohol, but apparently it's not the right time of day. And I don't want you leaving here too.
It's past 12, isn't it?
Well,
Okay.
we don't always get what we want. So look, here's a simple game. It's who's more rock and roll. 10 questions each. No, 10 questions total, 5 questions each, right?
But are we against you or are we against
You're
each other?
against each other, boys.
Oh, God.
And maybe you
This is
can
going to be
count.
the breakup of the band.
This
It's
is
going to
it.
be finished.
Congratulations, you broke
I
us up.
destroyed them. Yeah. Okay, so Johnny, first question. The song Layla was written by Eric Clapton in an attempt to steal George Harrison's wife. True or false?
True.
Correct. That would have been one hypothetical shot for you.
Okay.
Making you look more badass. All right, Baz. Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit was inspired in name by a type of deodorant. True or false?
False.
True.
Really?
Okay, that's Johnny 1. Baz nil. All right, Johnny. Elton John's real name is Greg Wright. True or false?
False.
Correct. What's his real name?
I don't know, but it's not Greg
It's
Wright.
actually Rage Dwight. So I
Oh,
was walking the line with you there.
Trixie.
Baz, Jimi Hendrix wrote the song Little Wing in just 2.5 minutes. True or false?
2.5 minutes, really? I'm going to go with true.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right,
Good out, Jimmy.
I'm going to rob Nevermind the Buzzcock style here and ask you to complete the following lines from this song. Johnny, now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. And if I stare too long, I'll probably break down and cry.
Whoa, sweet child of mine.
Correct.
Bang.
All right, Baz, I think I'm going to be sad.
I think it's today.
Woo, all right, yeah,
wouldn't
that's
have
1
known
point for you. Johnny, she said I'll throw myself away. You mentioned
They're just
already.
photos after all.
Ah, beautiful.
Queens
well
of Stone
done.
Age, Go with the Flow. One of my favourite
Correct,
songs.
correct. All right, Baz, find yourself a girl and settle down.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit, what is it?
Okay.
This is where we
3,
get the countdown
two,
Trying to
music.
tip my tongue.
One.
Oh, why does he get to do a countdown? It should be him.
Competition, Dad.
That's his leadership skills just shining through. Yeah.
Oh, no. Don't know. Go on.
The answer was "Live a Simple Life in a Quiet Town" by the Raconteurs. Find yourself a girl.
I was thinking of
and
Daniel
settle
O'Donnell or
down.
something.
Steady she goes, is it? Yeah, steady she goes.
All right, lads. Last question each, right? And it's quotes, right? And Johnny, the quote is, "I won't be a rock star. I will be a legend." Who said that? Was it A, Kurt Cobain, B, Jeff Buckley, or C, Freddie Mercury?
Jeff Buckley.
Freddie Mercury, I'm afraid.
Shit.
Are we neck and neck here? Is that what's going on?
No.
I
Way
don't
in the
think so.
lead.
Come on.
Okay,
All
we'll
right,
say it's
Baz.
neck and neck.
Well, let's see what happens
This
now,
is
right?
for the win.
No.
Well, this is just for
Tomfoolery,
team
yeah.
spirit. You can pat yourself on the back if you get this right. All right. So here's the quote: "Rock and roll, the most brutal, ugly, desperate form of expression. It has been my misfortune to hear." A, Leonard Cohen. B, Frank Sinatra, or C, Linford Christie.
Linford Christie.
Is the
Isn't
wrong
he
answer. Is the
no,
wrong
but
answer.
hang on.
Sorry, and that's
No,
all we
he
have
was-
time for here this evening, folks. Join
I
us
would've
next
said
week
Frank Sinatra.
on another episode of the Fake TV Music Show. Can I get another big thanks for the New Valley Wolves? The song is Fire in the Blood. Check it out on YouTube. Join them on Facebook. And on the 17th of January, they'll be playing in the Hard Rock Cafe. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Danny.
Thanks,
Thank
Danny.
you.